Every episode of No Offsides podcast is brought to you by Champion Hockey. Be a champion.
No offside.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to No Offsides podcast, sponsored by Champion Hockey. I'm Dan Dean here with my partner Justin Wood.
What's up?
We are honored to be joined by a member of the first PWHL championship team in Minnesota. She's also a member of the PAMA Labeda Golden Knights pro women's team. We'd like to welcome Brooke Bryant. How are you, Brooke?
Good. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Tearing down my banner here.
I know you look like you're on a boat.
I was like, he's swinging over there.
Yeah. But, we are very happy that you were pretty much, your name was thrown at us from multiple sources, and we couldn't have said yes sooner. So
I appreciate it.
But, you're coming off, you're coming off fantastic, I guess that's winter. And then you're coming off you ended your summer pretty well,
Yeah.
It's, we don't necessarily get to talk to professional women ice players very often in our lifetime. And you were able to accomplish a first, which is winning the Professional Women's Hockey League championship with Minnesota.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was definitely the best way to end the season, obviously, but just had so much fun and learned so much this past year.
Yeah, so obviously the entire beginning of PWHL was almost like a draft league, right? Everyone kind of went in a pot, and then the teams were like, yeah, we're just going to keep drafting people.
Yeah, pretty much. It was there was actually a few leagues before, and I was signed to play for the PHF, which was one of the leagues prior to the PWHL. And then after that, everyone kind of went into a draft pool, and then they had the draft, and then obviously camp invites. That's how I was invited to Minnesota's camp, and then did camp with them, and then got a contract from camp, and that's how I kind of ended up on the team.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you look at it and you go, Minnesota, I guess, essentially with points tied for the 3-4 seed, but with tiebreakers, ended up in the last spot, making it in the playoffs. And you went from the last spot to winning the championship. So that's have to be almost, I wouldn't say more like a Cinderella story, but that Toronto team that Toronto team was pretty solid.
Yeah, they were really good. It was weird. We had a losing streak, going all the way into playoffs. I think we needed 1 point. We needed to win one game in our last 7 games or something. And so we lost our last game, and then a whole bunch of things had to work out for us to be able to get in. And so we were everyone's, watching the other teams play. And I remember we were all at one of my teammates' houses, and we were biting our nails, just watching, had to win in regulation, or it was crazy. But yeah, everything worked out. And so then we made it. And then, Toronto got to pick who they wanted to play. So then, they picked us. And so it was
Big
crazy
mistake.
how we ended up there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have to say, we've talked about it with other people when PWHL gets mentioned, but I don't see a more perfect scenario with broadcasting and who they pick to broadcast and the broadcasting quality to really showcase professional women's hockey.
Yeah. It was awesome. I think it showed we had 13,000 people at our first game. It was, and that at the time broke the record for the most, I think, people at a women's professional game. And I think the next game broke it right after that. It was awesome. It was so cool. How much fan support and how much growth this past year has been with women's hockey.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just seemed like every week some other team was bigger venue, more fans in the stands, right? And you're like, dang, this is really taking off.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, I have to say, like I said, instantly what grabbed me to it was they did everything right. Marketing, right? They did quality for streaming. They didn't do too much with, camera angles and stuff like that. And it just made everything so much easier to watch than, sometimes when you watch pro roller games, they cut to like these cameras on the benches and they're like wobbly and they're behind the play, right?
Yeah.
And so like you can overdo production, but I think they were so perfect in showcasing it. And that's, and I fell in love with the league from the second they were like, oh, yep, we're streaming it on YouTube.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, obviously, the games that were on TV, I know just based off what my parents have said, and I also watched them on TV, but mostly on YouTube. But I think just being able to, and anyone can watch on YouTube. I mean, it's so easy to access, but having like you said, the broadcasting and the interviews in between periods, and breaking down the goals, breaking down the plays, like it's cool that that people are really treating it like a real professional sport, which it is.
Yeah.
So it's awesome to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I even forgot that it even started on YouTube and kind of went to national television, which, it just is giant in itself. And it just shows the respect for the sport.
Yeah.
And so, and that's why I was watching on YouTube, and then eventually I was scrolling through, the guide on TV, and I was like, oh, when was, I didn't even know this was going to happen. Like now it's on TV, and now all the playoffs are on TV, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It was awesome. Definitely. Very
Well,
cool.
when you're pulling in those kind of numbers,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah. It was insane. But
Where were you playing before Minnesota? What was your team
I
before that?
for college, I went to Minnesota State, Mankato. So it's about hour and a half from the cities like Minneapolis. And yeah, I played in Mankato. I did a 5th year because of COVID. So I was
Sweet.
there. And then this past year was my first year out of college. So then, ended up in Minnesota.
What kind of
State.
attendance were you getting there?
And definitely nothing like we have right now. Mainly just like the parents, if they were there, and maybe a few of our friends if they wanted to come out and watch the game, but it was nothing like how it is right now. It's not even close. I think
So you went from
all parents.
so maybe like 250.
I wouldn't even. Yeah, maybe. Like I don't even know that. No,
So you went from almost nobody to thousands.
Yeah.
Was that nerve-wracking?
Yeah, for sure. It was crazy. I mean, I remember the first game, like there was always like when they introduced our team and we all went out there, we skated with like a, little player, and we had our moment skating up to the blue line, and I was like, oh my gosh, like do not fall. Like I was so nervous, but it was crazy because leading up to it, people were saying like there was rumors like there's gonna be a lot of people, it might break the attendance, blah, blah, blah. And like, I remember sitting on the bench before warmups and everyone's coming in. I'm like, dang, this is not like anything I've ever experienced. So it was so cool to see. And then I just went up from there. It was like more and more. And even when we played at other venues, like they had a whole bunch of people. So it was definitely something I had to get used to. And I definitely wasn't used to in the beginning.
Yeah. And I can say like, and it was, like I said, I can't help but repeat myself, but everything was done right? You start on at college stadiums, right? And then they were like, oh, we're filming this thing. And then they're like, we need, let's try and go bigger. And they're like, oh, we're going to play at, whatever professional team's arena. And then it's like, oh, wow, we brought in a big crowd. Let's keep doing this. And then next, you're like, oh, we got a packed stadium.
Yeah. It was crazy. We started at Excel, which was awesome, but it was also like, dang, like, I mean, coming from Mankato, we have a really nice rink, and the men's team fills it out like every weekend. And then we would always like have, like I said, our parents usually there. And so being able to like play at Excel was awesome.
Very, very cool. And where did you grow up originally?
So I'm from Linden, California. So
What?
only in Minnesota for hockey.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And being in Minnesota, a little bit before you got started, you Ryan Shavo, you trained for him.
Yeah, he was a huge help for me. So like I said before, I was gonna play in the PHF, and then when everything kind of fell through with the league, and obviously going to this new league, I didn't really have anywhere to skate, and I was already coming back to Minnesota. And I was actually at State Wars in Norwich. Like, I always knew who John was. He's, you know, roller hockey legend, but he's probably going to bring that up. I should look at that. But I met him. There were some mutual friends, and then he was like, yeah, you know, we connected, and he has like the only tile in Minnesota, which is like crazy because when I first came here, like roller hockey is huge for me. And I remember trying to find like, there's got to be a roller rink somewhere. And so all the years I was at Mankato, I never got to play. And then I met up with Chavo, and he does ice skills also. So I was able to hop in with his sessions and work out there and shoot roller. And yeah, so he's been awesome. Now I train with them every day, skate with them. And then it obviously works out well because he misses the same things that I do in the summer. He plays in State Wars and Arch, so it works out well. They've been awesome for me.
What can you like tell us as a takeaway from his camps, from his training?
I think just like practicing and training with the purpose. Like even when we're playing or shooting around, messing around at the gym, like we'll be playing pig and it gets so competitive, but it's like, even if I'm like shooting bad and he's like, okay, let's think about this here. Like, you know, we got to focus in on our shots. Like, even though we're messing around, there's a purpose to all this. You're calling your shots. You're, you know, trying to work on your aim, even though we're playing around. And I think definitely with confidence too. I mean, on ice and obviously in roller also, he's really helped me become that roller player on the ice, kind of helping me translate it over. So yeah, I've, you know, learned so much from him.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned pig. He said
it is like the game at the gym. He wins like I don't think many people beat him, and he gets into it. He'll let you know.
Now, you know, the talk of a lot of the women's professional women's hockey league is obviously like Maddie Rooney, right? How she's like crazy in that. You know, who would you, I mean, she seems to be working pretty hard. You know, she's got a lot of hype around her, but like, who would you say, even on your PWHL team, like works the hardest? Like, who's always there? Who's the late, first in, first, last out?
Yeah, I don't know. I was pretty lucky with my team. I mean, I was surrounded with so many insane players. I mean, Kendall Coyne works her ass. Oh, I don't know if I can.
You can go for it.
Works her ass off, and you know, she's like, all those girls are just such great role models for me. And I mean, taking practice and every rep and every drill so seriously, and how it translates and how, you know, they go and practice. Like, it was awesome. I got to learn so much from them. But yeah, she's definitely one that stands out. I don't know, like, honestly, there's so many, everyone on my team was awesome this year. There's not one girl that was just like, you know, I'm out here to be out here. Like, everyone had a purpose and everyone showed it. So it was very, very cool.
Now, PWHL, the ladies wanted to allow a lot of physicality on the boards, right? And it showed. It was, you know, it was definitely added to the game. Now, that has to translate somewhat to playing professional roller and the physicality that can happen in roller.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen our games with Rinkster. It gets physical right from the first puck drop, but that's how it's always been. And I think I was kind of lucky. I mean, a lot of girls play with boys, you know, growing up, and I always did. And so I was not, you know, shied away from the physical side of the game at all. And there's definitely something that I like having in the league, and definitely help in roller too, because whenever at Norwich, actually, every game was really physical this year, but it's always physical game with Rinkster. So definitely helped a lot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it's awesome.
There's nothing better just in hockey in general than just being able to just take the lane and just plaster someone to the boards.
Yeah.
And then be like, I got the puck, you can't call.
Yeah, I mean, by like even the championship game, or in the last round of playoffs, like it definitely, there were some big hits, and you know, I always see like online everyone's clipping it, like there's some highlight real hits, so it's crazy to see, but everyone wants it, you know, it adds another level to the game. And I mean, if all the girls want it, so definitely adds to the league.
Hell yeah.
Now, talk more like Narch State Wars here. But played for PAMA, right? You have your kind of similar standings going into both of them. You got Rinkster, PAMA, Black Ice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like the typical top three, no matter how you can move them, right? I mean, those seems like the top echelon of kind of women's pro roller. But you guys at Narch played well, but came up short in championship. State Wars, you had the rematch, and you were able to kind of, you were able to pull it off, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's got to say something for just your team, for just how your team plays together, and how. There's a word that I had that I forgot, but yeah, I was going somewhere with it. But yeah, I mean, just like it just seems like there's no quit.
Yeah. I mean, I know we obviously were not happy with Narch and how everything ended, but also I think just even in the round robin games, like we could have played so much better. Even like myself, I was just like frustrated, and I think it showed. And obviously in that championship game, they got the better of us that game. And going into State Wars, we're like, that's the crazy thing about roller. Like Narch, you have, and then State Wars is like 5 days later. So it was just, even in the huddle after the game when we lost, we're like, we're seeing them next week. So like, let's get it together. And so State Wars was huge, and we knew that we had to play better, but we also got a second chance at them. So yeah, happy to win that one. That one was pretty big.
You mentioned that those two tournaments are so close together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like that, or do you wish there was a little bit more space?
I like it. I mean, I wish there was one after State Wars and on and on and on. Like, I love it. It's my favorite part of the summer. Like, I look forward to it so much. I mean, even like girls that I play ice with, they can't get me to shut up about roller. So it's always something I look forward to, and I just wish it didn't go by as fast as it does.
We love hearing that, because we're always trying to push rollers. So you saying you're pushing it.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
I'm there with you.
Hell yeah.
I mean, who would you say is like, if you were to put like a best player women's roller hockey right now, who would you say is hands down like top?
I mean, Laura is obviously a big name. She's been unreal for so long. Kyla Sanders, Lindsay Gregg, Sarah Beer. I mean, they're all awesome. I don't know. It's growing so much. I mean, for a long time it was Rinkster and us that would always end up in the championship, and that was kind of like the most competitive game that we would get. But at Narch, every game was really competitive, and so there was good players on every team. But those are some of the girls that when I first started playing pro, definitely like looked up to, and they were the ones kind of running the show. So it's pretty cool to be playing with and against them now.
What were some of the teams that showed up and gave you guys some trouble that you didn't really expect?
Haichu was our first game at Narch, and we tied. We tied them. I think it was 0-0, and then Black Ice, we played them, and it went to overtime. And I'm trying to think who else we played at Narch. Black Ice was a good game. Even at State Wars, we only won. I think it might have been 1-0, 2-0, like empty net. But yeah, those were good games. Other than obviously Rinkster, but yeah, those were fun games.
Yeah, I mean, you got 0-0 against Haichu, right? You have 2-1 against the Phoenix, and then you went to the semifinals against Black Ice. That's a 4-3 game, right? So I mean, you did play some really close games.
Yeah, that Black Ice game went into OT. I think we were down with like 2 minutes left. We were losing 3-2, and then tied it up with it was really, really soon, but I mean really late in the game. And then overtime. Thank God. That one was scary.
I mean, and you kind of shellacked them in the first meeting 6-1 as well, right? So then you come and meet them again, and you're like, yeah, you should going into it, and you're like, they're going to play much better than we seen the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, like Narch, we were kind of just still figuring stuff out. I think we just tried to play the same game, and we didn't start off as strong, so that kind of threw us for a little bit. But yeah, thank God we won in overtime.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said you wish that these summer roller tournaments would never end.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people say it's not just the games that they love.
Yeah.
It's the hanging out with the team, everything.
Oh, yeah, by far.
What are some moments from this year that stuck out?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to my PAMA girls. I mean, that's like over half the reason why I look so much forward to like these games or that part of the summer. They're so much fun, and it's been a blast. Like ever since I was, I don't even know, 14, 15, when I first started on PAMA, they're so much fun, and I look forward to just being able to hang out with them all the time. I mean, even after the tournaments, before the tournaments, I don't think I stopped smiling like the whole weekend. So it's so much fun being a part of this team, and I feel like, everybody just loves being around the rink. I think we were sitting in the rink for like 5 hours just watching pro games. Like it's just such a fun atmosphere to be around, and I think everyone kind of feels the same way, and that's why there's such a big draw for roller.
Agreed.
Now,
go ahead, Dan.
I was gonna say is like, you have this year, especially, whether it's men's or women's, you got the, PAMA Golden Knights Academy. And, they didn't do too bad. I mean, they came out with 2 ties in round robin. I mean, what's so special about, these academy teams being brought up that, is there something we need to look forward to with these teams going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a great way that PAMA has been trying to grow the game. I mean, they're bringing these teams here, and obviously they're making a mark. And yeah, it's something to definitely look forward to. I mean, they've had close games with a lot of teams. I don't know how well the men's team did in the pros, but I mean, it's just another way to grow the game. Just something to look forward to. Just good players that we might not see without, that team. So.
Yeah, and I mean, Justin and I are both all for just, especially, like you have 14 teams in the men's and Narch, right? Which is great. But then, seeing 8 women's pro teams at Narch as well. And it's like,
yeah,
where there was, I think in the past 4 to 6.
Yeah. I mean, and there's the AA division now that has, I don't even know, a decent number of teams. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And girls division, like it's really cool how much the women's side has grown over the years.
Can't agree more. But, you look at State Wars, right? And you guys, once again, had some easy, from, stat sheet wise, looked like some easy games, but then you also had some relatively close games, right? I mean, you got, obviously Black Ice, you saw them first game round robin. You then, Gremlins, TDQ, you come back to play Team Columbia, who, you guys only beat them 2-0.
Yeah.
And then you see Black Ice again.
Yeah.
So, this seems like a pattern here where it's like, it's PAMA Black Ice.
Yeah. I felt it was weird. Like we felt like we had played them like 3 times in one day. Like it felt like that's all we've been seeing the last couple of tournaments. But yeah, with that Columbia game, we had a close game with them last State Wars, and they're just a team that like they work so hard, and they just, you're going to get the full 2 periods from them. So it was obviously hard to get a goal, but once we controlled the game, we were like, we're good now. But yeah, it's hard to, crack them because they work so hard on forecheck and loose pucks. Like they're moving a million miles an hour. So.
Yeah, and talk about Columbia. You have the women's side that they won the women's Pan American Games for the senior women's. Just Columbia was sprinkled all through, so it's like seems like a country that's kind of up and coming, in the roller hockey world. If not maybe not up, maybe they're just there, right? They're there. They seem to be very roller hockey oriented in the sport. did you catch any of the Pan American games?
No, I didn't. I just kind of saw the scores. I was following like through Roller Dad and all that stuff. Just saw the scores pop up, but I didn't get to catch any of the games like live stream wise.
Okay. Yeah, I mean USA looked great. They pretty solid team. They rotated their goalies, which is nice to see that they're not riding one goalie. You get some young with some older. So there's some mentorship seems like going on there, which is nice to see. The men take it home for gold, which is nice to see. Unfortunately, I didn't catch much of the juniors, but it's nice to see that we're medaling, right? Women's is doing well, men's are doing well. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like we can probably see a good wave of Colombian teams coming in the future and really making an impact, whether it's State Wars or Narch or wherever they play.
Yeah, even I got to go to Worlds twice, and I remember always playing Colombia was always a tough game. So it's definitely not like they came out of nowhere. They've been good for a while now, and I think they're always going to be a team to look out for.
Now, playing Worlds, I mean, is there women's team, like you talk about Colombia, right? Are there any other countries that has like a pretty solid women's team?
Yeah, when I was the last Worlds I played in was 2018, and we played Czech in the championship, and that was a really good game. I think we can't even remember now, but I'm pretty sure we scored with we were down and tied it up and scored with a couple minutes left. So that was a huge game for us. But yeah, that's a team that sticks out to me is Czech. So we'll see, coming up how everything's gonna plan out. I don't think the schedule is even out yet. So we'll see how everything ends up.
Where is that tournament?
It's in Italy.
Italy.
Yeah. I always butcher the name. Roccaraso, I think. I don't know. We leave beginning of September.
Okay.
It starts beginning of September. Yeah. So.
And you mean you're talking, the what seems like the best of the best for women's roller, right? So I mean, it's always easy to default to watching the men's, but when you look at the roster for the women's, you kind of can't. You have to tune in.
Yeah. It's crazy because those are. I mean, when I saw the roster, I was like, we're gonna be. It's a pretty sweet team. I was so excited to play, and obviously it's those two teams are PAMA and Rinkster. We have such a big rivalry in Narch and State Wars, so putting us all together is gonna be, it's gonna be pretty exciting. All that talent on one team, I think it'll be good for us.
So going to be some jokes thrown around the locker room, or
probably. I mean, we had practice already, and it was smooth, no fights. So I think we'll be good. No, they're all great girls. So I'm excited to go play and hopefully bring back a gold medal.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now, sorry, Justin, but is it a custom now that everyone gets a dangle tool for this Team USA?
I don't know. I don't have one yet, so I hope so, or else it takes me half an hour to change my wheels out. Yeah, those things are pretty sweet.
Nice little plug there.
Yeah.
What were you
I
gonna say,
wanted
Justin?
to get some intel.
Okay.
Because we talk about it is kind of weird, so just accept it. But we talk about the roller tournaments here, and that one huge disappointment is none of these rinks have showers. Do the rinks in Italy have showers?
No, they didn't last time. Oh no, yeah, they did. No, actually,
they did.
Yes, I remember they did.
Well, that's like I know I bring this up a lot, but why don't we do that? I don't know,
and I'm with you because I and it feels like it's just so hot out, especially in Irvine when you're playing outside. It's even walking out. Most of the time I just have my under gear on still because it's so sweaty. But yeah, there was showers last time in Italy, so I hope there's showers at this rink because that would be huge. Because that is just tough.
We're trying to make enough noise about it here so that they have to figure it out at Irvine, all these different rinks.
Yeah. I mean, I think there can't be anyone that would be mad about adding some showers to the rinks without them.
It's really a pet peeve of Justin's.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, like, it's fine to be all nasty while you're out there, but afterwards, it's kind of nice to like have a shower before you go
Oh
get
yeah,
food.
definitely. Just to cool off at least. Like it's so freaking hot.
Yeah, it wouldn't even have to be hot water. Just give me a
No.
cold.
Yeah. Freezing water would be literally perfect.
Well, that's something that is in agreement across both men's and women's.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, you're something else, Justin.
I hate not showering.
I know, and it seems to be regular now that you just kind of like just throw it in.
It's
I
a
have to.
good thing to hate, I guess.
Look, we can draw attention to several different things, including media coverage. But
True too.
the hill I'm going to die on is showers.
It needs to be talked about more.
But now, you're making me lose my train of thought here, bud. Now, you're obviously playing for PAMA, so I mean, are you using like the new whips or anything?
Yeah, so I have like baby feet, and they didn't have 68s made yet. So Rob said that they're making them soon. So by Worlds, I want to hop on those. I'll have them by then. But yeah, I texted him, and he's like, we don't even have that size yet. And I was like, oh. But yeah, a lot of the girls that could get those wheels wore them for the last couple tournaments, and so I'm excited to get them for Worlds.
Okay.
Definitely need to hop on those.
I mean, what are from all the ladies and everything that you've heard, like what's the rave about them?
I mean, I don't know. I've heard all good things. It's definitely like a faster wheel. I mean, even you see a lot of guys skating with them who don't even play for PAMA or, Labeda and stuff. So I haven't even tried. I haven't even really asked that many people, but every time there's a new wheel that comes up for Labeda, I always seem to like it. So, and I like these that they're pink. So that's sold. I think most of the girls were like sold on that.
I mean, colors everything sometimes.
Yeah, it gives a nice little pop.
Now, I'm gonna kind of jump back to PWHL, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're expecting mascots or team names.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that you would probably tell us, but I mean, is there anything you're hoping for potentially for some of the team names or?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, this glare is like brutal. For Minnesota, like
you must be back in California.
The one that everybody wanted was like Purple Rain was like a sweet one. Obviously Prince, and that was kind of like, you would see a whole bunch of signs in the crowd we kind of took on that name even though we didn't have a name. But I think that would be really cool. That would be a sweet one. Okay. Especially, purple and Prince and Vikings are purple. Like it would be pretty sweet.
What would the logo look like?
I don't know.
Can you draw it up real quick?
Yeah,
it's just Prince's symbol.
I just like the name, so that's all they're getting from me.
Yeah, that's good.
So you're saying like people were bringing signs that said Purple Rain on it, or?
Yeah. Oh,
that's cool.
There was always one specific person that I always remember had the same Purple Rain sign, and then I remember just looking up and there was a few that were there, so it was pretty cool because I think some girls probably mentioned it earlier in the season and it kind of caught on. But yeah, that would be a really cool name.
Really
I agree. I'm a big Prince fan.
Yeah, there you go.
It would be interesting if the ladies made a pitch on like a TikTok or whatever, and you're just like, hey, like our name should be this, right? And then it's just like, it's like, oh man, maybe then you kind of push, management to be like, maybe we should do that.
Yeah. I don't know if I think they have stuff that they're gonna release like pretty soon, so they probably have it all figured out by now.
Yeah.
Do they give you much insight on that, or do they kind of just keep you guys?
No, I don't. Yeah, it's pretty to themselves, and then it'll be like a big reveal probably. I'm not sure.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not against the first season of like playing for your city.
Yeah, I think it was kind of cool. You know, like it was just kind of weird when people ask like, who do you play for? I'm like, Minnesota. Like it wasn't, you know, Minnesota that blah blah blah. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was cool. Cool to like just, you know, playing for Minnesota, and I'm sure other girls felt like that too.
Now, it kind of bridge it to, but kind of going uniforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be kind of cool to wear because the ladies wear chrome buckets for PAMA, right?
No, we don't.
What? Yeah.
Which I don't think any girls on my team would want to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if that's like a woman's side thing. I don't know if that would go over well. I would rock one, but I don't know. I think the girls on my team are good with our gray ones.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't know. I was like, I look at it and go, there's not many teams that can pull off chrome buckets.
Yeah.
Right. And then, you have at one point, I think the men's PAMA was like, we're going silver. I was like, oh, okay. And then the Kings were like, we're going silver. We're going chrome. No, like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It was cool. And now I think like the silver nights for roller obviously wear those ones. Mm-hmm. And then the golden ones are pretty sweet.
I like those GK jerseys.
Yeah, those are cool. I like them a lot. They're like kind of like the throwback look.
Yeah.
Cool. It's something different.
Yeah, I mean, really, women don't like chrome?
I don't know. I think it's kind of
it's got me stuck on it.
Like out, like way out there, just like whoa. And I don't know. A lot of girls would love it, but maybe Rob can try, and maybe next Snarch we'll see us out there with some chrome buckets on. But
I'll just have to once a month. I'll just have to message the Instagram and be like, let's see the women's with chrome.
Yep. Yeah. Maybe if you keep going, someone will break.
Now, have you played at the Nijar Arena?
I actually got to play there at Narch after we did like a little 3-on-3 women's tournament, and it was awesome, like insane. Okay. Yeah, I was on the rink after the tournament, and they had to like tell me to get off because I didn't want to leave. It was awesome. It was unreal.
I don't blame. I mean, I wouldn't want to leave that place either. I think it's like a mecca.
I was like, I could live here. It was sweet.
To just wake up and be like, you know what? I feel like, oh wait, no, I slept in my skates. I'm going to play.
Yeah, I know. I told him, I was like, I could live right here in this rink. Like it doesn't even matter. It was awesome, and the tournament was a blast, especially after Narch, everyone's going hard, and such like an intense time when you always want to win, but obviously the 3-on-3 is more loose, and everyone had fun, and we were playing with like random teams. We didn't even know who was on our team before, so it was fun.
It is cool.
Yeah, it was a good time.
You said, and Chavo said it, we talked to him that his tile's the only tile around there, right?
Yeah.
Minnesota. So you're not playing anything like beer leagues, anything like that?
Like for roller, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like a rink in White Bear Lake, actually. It's like a little 3-on-3. And when they take the ice out, it's just like flat, like concrete, obviously flat, but it's like really like smooth concrete. So we play out there, and that's like on Monday nights. It's kind of like John brought me out there one time. The first time I actually went out there, he's like, yeah, there's roller, like we're playing in White Bear Lake. I'm like, oh yeah, like let's go. And I'm thinking we're just gonna play like a little pickup game, but I was like, I walk in and there's shirts and for colors and the team, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And we ended up playing like a 6-game tournament, and I was there till like 10 something at night. But then I got close with all the people that run that tournament there or that league, and we skate every Monday night in the summers once the ice comes out, and it's a fun time. There's like a lot of good ice guys, like AHL, some NHL guys that just never have been really introduced to roller, and they come out there and just love it. So it's awesome. We just kind of make teams and play for however long until everyone's tired, but it's so fun. It's definitely not
Very cool.
like tile. It's a little bit more slippery, like what we're used to, but it gets your roller fix in there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Now, I'm trying to think. I think it was was it before you got there? Because didn't Chavo try doing like the longest hockey game possible?
Yeah, I saw. I don't even know. I remember seeing a video about that like before I met him.
Okay.
I should ask him about that. I don't even know anything about it, like where he was at or how that even went. But I
wasn't sure if you were there before, like after, like during that or not. So I was just trying to find out some deets
before I knew him. But maybe we'll have to break his record.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because the reason why I brought up, and I was hoping you went into the Nijar and playing there after Narch, because O'Hara Shipe was posting, I guess, some pictures that were taken, and I was like, oh, dang, like they went right from playing Narch to playing at Nijar Arena, and I was like,
yeah, it was like a day after, and the tournament kind of, we kind of talked about it before, and then they set everything up, and it was a blast. I mean, their family has been so big for me, and that PAMA family has just been awesome. Like, they really took me under their wing, and like since I was little playing women's pro, and they've done so much for me. I mean, still, like, Sabraj bought my PWHL jersey and like surprised me when I got there. It was an auction, and I was like, who bought this? Like, and then when I got there, he had it, and he had me sign it, and he's gonna put it up in the rink. So
damn,
they just mean so much for roller hockey, but have done so much for our team, and they've really created like a family that I'm obviously very proud to be a part of. So it's awesome. Not enough good things to say about them.
Yeah. All we hear is good things too. So, and they've been in the roller world for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
But
more like them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's why, Justin and I always like talking, like, how do we make roller hockey like televised and stuff like that? And, it's just like, and that's why every time Justin and I talk about it, I'm like, it needs to be something like PWHL broadcast. Like, it needs to be that quality. It needs to be, that's the first steps. And then, somehow go the routes of cornhole and get on ESPN Plus and, just something more than just like using independent streaming services to watch games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, even at like Narch, I don't know how those were streamed, but I know there was there's some broadcasting kind of going on. Like, I know Celeste was doing some games, and then, a few people, I saw them up there on the mics. So it's definitely cool that they're doing that now. But yeah, I agree. I think just having like better video and better like quality, but it's working that way, I think.
Yeah. And that's it. It's like, as much as all of us are like, oh, we want this done faster, but it definitely has to happen in stages. We have to show what can be done, and then someone else has to come in and be like, no, let me I could do it better. I could do a broadcast better and cleaner and everything like that. And I think that's kind of where we're headed, right? Where is it? Because I think Narch did was it Justin? Was it roller production?
Or it was roller TV, roller hockey TV, or something like that.
Yeah, roller TV.
I don't know.
Well, Narch was the only one out of the three that did YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Okay, so then State Wars was.
Yeah, State Wars and Tours were both rollerhockey.tv.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was.
And but and I not going against, I think it's roller production. Because we had him on, right, Justin?
R&R?
Yeah, R&R, roller, yeah. And so like they did great. And it's kind of like, and I'm sure he goes in every year and he's like, yeah, like this is great, but like we could do this better. Because Justin and I interviewing him, and it's like he likes to be perfectionist and like his quality and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He's even like reached out to us like, hey, let's know if you want assistance with like this or that, and like I'll let you know. And we're like, yeah, sweet, awesome, and so like and it just sucks that we don't have what Europe has, which is like a unified professional roller league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it would just those 2 tournaments for me seem like it's something that I look forward to for so long, and then it's just gone so fast.
Yeah.
This year, obviously having Worlds I'm so excited for that. Get one more big tournament in, but yeah, that would be unreal. Like having, just a consistent league or a couple more tournaments tossed in there would be awesome.
Yeah. Now, going to Italy, besides playing hockey, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the food, but just to be able to travel around, like just take some time. My parents are actually coming to watch the tournament, and then we're going to stay for a couple of days. So just be able to hang out with them and, be a tourist after the tournament, just kind of, take out or go look around and see everything. But it'll be nice to, experience all that with my parents too. So
nice.
Get to see them for a bit.
I mean, what is, besides winning PWHL, what is let's just go with roller hockey side. Like, what's your favorite memory throughout playing roller hockey? What is your favorite memory?
Probably, I mean, the State Wars was pretty sweet, winning in overtime, but probably Narch last year. That was, I feel like we hadn't beaten Rinkster in a while. We were kind of in a little bit of a lull, and we won that game. And it was awesome. The atmosphere at Irvine is just so fun. Like, especially now we're playing before the pro men's game, and, everyone's like huddled around the rink. It's so much fun. And being able to win that game. And then our guys were playing right after us. So that game, I just remember being really fun. And that one was really a big one that stuck out to me. And then in 2018, when I was able to play Worlds in Italy, actually it was in Italy then too, and we won gold. That was pretty sweet. It was so much fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, winning gold, coming on with some sort of international medals, got to feel great.
Yeah.
I got to ask you though, how heavy is the PWHL Cup?
It was actually pretty heavy. It was like when we were kind of, waiting for your turn to skate around with it, girls were like, like what? It's actually kind of heavy. Like, be careful. I don't know the exact weight of it, but it was heavier than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
I want to know if you have any nemesises.
Nemesis?
You have a nemesis.
Nemesis?
Oh, boy. I don't know. I don't want to name drop anybody.
Oh, go. That's the best part. Is like now they know, like, oh, she's gonna play me hard because that's my mortal enemy.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I really have anybody like that in PETA, but I mean, obviously, just playing rinks is always something that I look forward to and always want to play. But I don't know if there's like a certain person or anything like that.
Like nobody that's on Team USA with you that you're gonna have to get past. Sorry.
No. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Wasn't the person that put me into the boards or anything like that. Like, I don't want to get her back,
No. We're all good. No hard.
I just didn't know if it was gonna be like a Mighty Ducks thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it'll be good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now,
what else are you looking forward to?
That's what I was just gonna go with.
Yeah, I mean, obviously after Worlds, have camp in November, so that's the next big thing that I'll be looking forward to. The next big thing on my schedule. So, just trying to work my butt off in between then, and looking forward to hopefully getting another contract and staying in Minnesota.
Really, yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
is it hey, back to the grindstone with Chavo and hitting the training there and being there and ready for?
Yeah, so when I get back, I'll still be doing the same stuff that I'm kind of doing right now. He has ice sessions for a while, and then even if he'll come out with me and we'll do skills and stuff like that. But I try and hop in with those guys as much as I can. And then Eddie, I think John mentioned him. He also works at Best Shift, and he does like all of the workout programs and stuff like that. So he's been helping me out big time. And there's he has stuff at a little gym at Best Shift where I can go work out. So yeah, I'll be back with John and Best Shift and training with Eddie and all of them.
Oh yeah.
Throughout the
All right.
summer. So
Yeah, Justin and I might take a trip,
yeah, you should come out. It's pretty sweet.
and I don't know. I mean, I've been nursing some injuries lately, so eventually, hopefully, I get healthy enough that I can go back into the gym and not be embarrassed.
I'm
So-
I'm assuming she's gonna kick our ass.
Yeah.
Hey, you said it. I didn't.
I mean, I'm interested in going and playing pig.
Oh yeah, that it gets heated. It's so fun, but even if it's like a little kid, first couple times at the gym, John will still just rip a top corner against them. There's no, it's going down for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Now, I mean, anything else that you want to touch up on? Any last and final words, or?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm good. Yeah,
Well, we wish you best of luck at Worlds.
thank you.
Once again, congratulations on PWHL winning State Wars and joining us today.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. That was fun.
Yeah, and as usual, if you're forechecking roller hockey, don't let up because there's no offsides. I'm
Yeah,
Dan
there you
Deaton.
go.
Yeah,
I'm Justin Wood.
Brooke, thanks for joining us. We very much appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Peace.
No offside.